evening, everyone. Good morning, everyone, whichever time it is. This is Sylvain Rochon, the Peaceful Revolutionary. Welcome to my video blog once again. I just wanted to start off with thanking all you guys for the support and comments and the subscriptions and all the stuff that you've been doing in the last couple of weeks. We've been talking about the cache technologies, and I've been analyzing. I think I spent over the last 2 weeks about 20 hours or so just watching videos and reading about direct information from the Cache Foundation, going through all the information, making the blogs and research, and answering to some of your comments, and kind of giving out more information as I went. So really appreciative for all the support. And this week, since we haven't received the reactors yet, I spoke with my friends in Montreal, where it's supposed to land where we have our test engineer. Hasn't arrived yet. I think it should be at any time, very, very soon, according to the timeline. So we'll see. So if and when we receive them, I'll let you know as soon, like the next blog. Essentially, you'll know right away, and I'll hopefully we'll have some pictures for you and these kind of things as well. For this week, I wanted to, since I'm in the alternate technologies for energy, and I've been diving in there for the last couple of weeks, I thought I'd do something that would be a little bit more, a little interesting for more general population. We'll be talking about how to make your own alternate energy source off the grid, and the different options that are out there, and particular things that either you can do yourself or that are cheap, or there's ways to get it done for yourself on the cheap, and all of them are quite valid technologies. But there are ways to go about it. And most of you may not know how to get those done and up and running. So instead of waiting for something revolutionary, maybe like Cache, and I was looking at other technologies as well that are a little bit more out there. There is some traditional energy sourcing devices that are quite good that you can do like really simply to get in your house and use. So there's 5 of them that I want to talk about. Actually 4 I want to talk about. I already talked a lot about the Cache technologies, the plasma reactor, so I won't go through that again in the video. So I want to talk about the 4 others that I'm looking at and that I've researched also in the past. Number 1 is the wind turbines. Number 2 is the water turbines. Number 3 is the Kyogen wave energy generator. And then number 4 is the solar panels. Now, aside from perhaps a Kyogen wave energy generator, you've heard about them all. You know about wind, water, and solar as really good, environmentally safe ways to generate energies. And what you may not know is how to make it and how to do it really cheap. And and some of you just think it's something that's not good or is only for the big companies and things like that. So number 1, let's go right into it. Number 1, the wind turbine, like just wind energy, essentially. It doesn't need to be big. So you can have something like that has a blade diameter, like a full diameter of spin of about maybe 2-3 feet, or perhaps a meter if you're using the metric system like I am. And how it works is essentially it just spins a rotor on a stator. And what a rotor and stator is, essentially it's 2 discs with a wound copper that are wound in a certain way, so clockwise, anti-clockwise, alternatively around knobs. And you have those kind of done on 2 discs that with bearings can move close to each other. They're not touching exactly, but you have to wind copper that generate electricity, magnetic fields, essentially. And you're rotating one. The rotor is rotating near the other, who also has copper wire wound up in around knobs. Okay, and since both of these coils of copper on both sides have magnetic fields, and that means you have magnetic fields that are rotating or rubbing against each other. That generates electricity. That's just like electricity generation 101. Generators, alternators in your car, they all work according to that principle. So those blades, essentially in the wind, what they do is they just make the rotor spin. The magnetic fields rub against each other, and then there's a wire that generates electricity. So the higher the RPM, or the bigger the coils of copper they are, the more electricity you're generating. It goes to a battery, like a car battery or a set of car batteries. Generally, you need some kind of electricity controller to kind of control the voltage and the flow of current, things like that, to make sure that the current is safe and consistent to the battery, and also, and then from the battery, it's plugged to, or your battery set, it's plugged to your home where you draw the energy from. So you're making electricity from the wind. It goes to a battery to kind of mitigate and control, like use a little bit like a capacitor, I guess, in some way, so that when you have less wind, there's energy in the batteries to supplement your house. If there's more wind, then it just replenishes the batteries, so you have like a control over that. So that's how it works. And I'll publish in the comments section, not the comment section, but the down below the video, I'll publish some links that help you with links on how to build them like by hand. And most of those links direct you on how to build them for like less than $100. Because commercially, wind turbines, you can buy them for $6,000 or more, and it's gonna suffice for your. It's gonna be sufficient for your home. But I mean, if you're just nominally mechanical, we have friends that are, you can get like a car alternator or a generator, and pieces from scrapyard and a little bit of electrical, and you're good to go. You can build your own. And the only thing that's missing that I didn't mention is that you need to have a way, like a blade, to direct the blades into the wind. So generally, it's like a rudder from like a wind rudder, if you want, as in the water. So it just stays there behind the blades that are rotating. And when the wind comes, it always aligns itself so that the blades are always fully in the wind, so you maximize your rotations with the blades. Very easy. Now, water turbines are very, very similar. Same rotor and stator setup to generate the electricity. So again, it's all about magnetic fields rotating and rubbing. And because it's alternating, just like the wind turbines, the coils are alternating one way and the other. You're creating AC current. Well, at least I'm no electrician, but from my reading, that makes sense, and that's the way it goes. I am an engineer, so I get it, but I haven't really built any of those, so so I'm just reading off of it, and that you're essentially generating AC, which works well with the battery set, because otherwise, if you need to convert, you need another piece to convert from DC to AC. But apparently, it generates AC because of that. And it makes sense too. It changes the direction of the current when you change the way the coils are rotated. So when they rotate against each other, it creates current in one way, and then the other one way, and then the other. That kind of deal. So with water turbines, the only difference is that you're not using the wind; you're using water flow. So your turbine, instead of blades like a propeller, what you have is like a bunch of spoons and a wheel. And then you just you make sure to channel a current or a river or a stream or just like a spout from a water tank that takes water from the mountain, whatever, an aqueduct, anything like that where there's water flow, and you channel it in a small stream that it could be as fast as you can make it, and you make it hit the spoons. And then the spoons rotate because the water keeps hitting it, right? And that rotates it into the rotor stator, so the generator, and then goes to the battery set, and you got electricity. I am unsure. It really depends on the stream size and the velocity of the water, but the system you need to generate electricity for a home is like the size of a barrel, essentially. Like a beer barrel or something like that. It doesn't need to be super hard, super big, but you need to have constant stream of water. The downside of the water, or a couple of downsides, is that you have to insulate the mechanism from water, since you really need water near water, so humidity is a problem. So you need to kind of be careful with that. And it's not so good in winter time, like in countries like mine where there's snow and below 0 degrees. Well, your stream may run out or freeze over, or there's may be less water. So, depending on where you are, that can work really well or less. Now, the third technology I wanted to mention, let's go solar, because we know that a little bit better. Solar panels, there are ways to make your own solar panels. It's somewhat complex and to get good efficiency, that kind of thing, but there are kits available. There's all sorts of different types of solar panels coming out. Some are even flexible, so you can even buy them. And you can buy the traditional times, like per panel, about $1,500. So it's not that expensive if you think that 4 or 5 panels are going to be good for your home for forever, essentially. Like typically you're guaranteed like 20 years, so not forever, but you spend, make an expense of, I don't know, $6,000, for example, to do the setup. Then you got electricity going for your home for 20 years, and you don't pay bills. Well, it may be financially worthwhile, but there's even a better solution for that. If you want to go solar, 2 advice I can give you. If you want to buy your own set, I would suggest to reduce the cost and be even more environmentally friendly. Make sure you buy solar panels that are made in a non-polluting way, because some of these panels, and most of them, in fact, the manufacturer of them is quite polluting. So you got to look at that. And also, so you can get the good ones, I guess, those that are less polluting in production of them. And secondly, you probably want to have a home that is in concept of an earth ship, which means it's very energy efficient. And I'm going to put a link for the earth ship also down below, along with all the other links, so you can check that out. But essentially, it's a home that's very efficient. You only need a few solar panels, generates enough electricity for heating and everything you need, all your electricity. And you can, earth ships are typically off-grid homes that are kind of built inside the earth almost. Very cool concepts. There's a few here around my house in different areas. And very earthy, very comfortable. The heat mitigation is really, really easy. Like it's cool in winter, in summer, and it's not hot in winter, in summer. Jeez, it's comfortable. So really cool things. And then because it's energy efficient, you need less solar panels, which is good. And you can even, like, to supplement your heating, especially in winter, you can use like just 4 cords of wood instead of 12, because it's super conservative as far as heating and insulation. So really terrific for the environment, less hassle and stuff like that. So that's the way number 1. The second way, if you have a conventional home and you have a decent roof, and you're in a state or province that has a green program, like in Ontario, we have a program with the government that allows you apply, and it will such a program links you with a private firm, like a solar panel company. The solar panel company will install your panels on your whole roof. Your roof becomes a solar farm, and you get the electricity from there for free, and you resell some of that electricity back to the grid. So you essentially end up every year with a few $1,000s in your pocket, and it doesn't cost you a cent in electricity. And the reason why in Ontario, Canada, they do this is because they want to wean the system off coal plants. So instead of building new plants like nuclear or whatever it is, they spend the money on individuals' homes to convert them to solar plants, to solar panels on their roofs. The individuals are benefiting from that, accept the program, are benefiting from it. And the government is happy because it's greener and greener and greener. They can close some coal plants. Everybody's happy because it's environmental. And the individual that has the solar panels actually makes money off of it. And there's thousands of homes in Ontario that are already converted. So if you should investigate in your state, country, province, if there's a program like that available, because if your roof is well situated, you could benefit from that and provide energy for a whole bunch of other people through the grid. So again, not make your own in this particular case, but I thought I'd include that because it's a really cool idea if you're hot on solar. Now the fourth one is the Kyogen wave generator. It's really interesting because it's like stupid technology. It's really idiotic as a principle, but it's so great. All it is essentially, these diving board floating platforms people tether in the bottom of their lakes at their cottages. Like, if you know what I mean, they float and people come to kind of dive off them, kind of sit around, read a book on them. These kind of things. They're, I don't know, maybe 3 to 4 meters per side, square. These things. Like, if you imagine one of these things, but that thing actually generates electricity for your cottage as well, as is. How it works on waves. Literally, you're working on the lift and the up and down of that floaty dock, I guess. And the way that's why I call it kind of stupid principle. It's genius of it in its simplicity. Your tether is basically a rope. It goes underneath it, right? And inside, what happens is that you have a series of pulleys and gears, and also, guess what? A generator. Okay, a little bit different, not the same. It's not designed the same way, but very, very similar principle with the rotor and stator. Okay, and when the floating dock goes up on a top wave, it pulls on the tether, right? And then there's the generator spins in a one direction, and then when it falls down off the wave, then there's a spring mechanism that brings down and makes the generator rotate the other way. So you're generating current, AC current, in going up and going down. And that current can be stored over directly, like using batteries and whatnot, directly on the dock thing. And then eventually it can be pulled through wires and whatnot up in the air, crossing onto the beach into your cottage. So essentially, your floating dock can be used as a generator for your cottage. So you're using the lake itself as a generator. And I thought that would be really cool because even though the firm actually does it, that's why it's called Kyogen. It's a brand. So there's not a whole bunch of information out there on how to do it. They do kind of show a little bit what it is. A smart guy can probably figure it out. And I'm sure if you contact Kyogen, they could probably give you some tips and give you some instructions on how to do it. I know they tried with Kickstarter, tried to build funds to actually make it a business. That didn't work. But the idea is good. It doesn't make a lot of energy, but for a small cottage, I mean, you don't need to burn with a generator. You just kind of leverage your little dock. And you let the waves generate you electricity. No problem. It's a really good idea. So I wanted to mention these alternatives because they're easy, they're accessible for all sorts of reasons. So until we figure out a really good way and a stable way to generate electricity for ourselves, including possibly the Kesh's technology, there's these other systems that are super traditional, super proven. Information is up to the wazoo on the internet on how to do this, how to build them, how to set them up. There's government programs, and they all can give you opportunities to get off the grid or to generate your own electricity for yourself, and even for your neighbors and whatnot, with very minimal effort and funds. So there's different options out there. Like, as revolutionaries, friends, the objective is not necessarily, in my mind at least, it's not necessarily to go find something super fuzzy, super advanced, super weird, and kind of change the world by like huge bounds. Sometimes it's the little steps that really win. If everybody, like, I'm totally for getting off the grid or the system in general and finding ways to do things for yourself. I think that's the future. That's how we can get to a free society and a paradise for ourselves, is to do things for ourselves and connecting like we are, sharing our skill sets and information. But we can do that step by step. Like if everybody has their own way to generate electricity for themselves, that is environmentally friendly and doesn't cause any harm to anybody, that is consistent for them, suffices to their needs, they can scale it up or down. Like if you have control over that, I mean, we don't need the power systems will also fall. It will help in their downfall because we don't need them. We don't need them. We can do things for ourselves as a human race and help each other that way. Is these big companies and governments that are tied in tradition and fighting each other for power and money. And the population doesn't care about power or money. We just want to live happily. So let's do it with whatever is available. And these are available. So that's going to be it for today. I wish you a great health, happiness. Meditate for peace on a daily basis. That I may do a blog about that. That actually is super, super helpful to bring world peace everywhere. And just enjoy yourself. Be happy, guys. I'll talk to you next time.